What up, my St. Louis City fam? I'm your girl, Kelly from Evolve, here to give you the rundown on what happened in St. Louis City government this week, and this is what you need to know. So, first, there are 3 projects moving forward that includes construction of a cycle track, yes, a cycle track, bridge reconstruction, and also multimodal improvements. So the first project is the Tucker Cycle Track, which will be from Shoto to Washington Avenue, and it involves the construction of a 1 mile, two-way, protected cycle track on Tucker to connect the existing bike lanes on Shoto to the shared use lanes on Washington Avenue. The 10-foot wide, yes, y'all, 10-foot wide cycle track will be constructed on the west side of Tucker by removing one lane, yes, by removing one lane of traffic, of southbound vehicular traffic. There will still be on-street parking, and there will also be a raised, pinned on concrete median constructed to separate the cycle track from the parking. Other improvements with this project include traffic signals, new curb ramps, new crosswalks, and there'll also be some new bus stops constructed. The total cost for this project, $1.4 million. The city received a transportation alternative program grant to move this project forward. Second project is the Compton Avenue Bridge reconstruction from Shoto to I-64. So we're talking about near Harris Stowe and SLU campuses. So this project involves rebuilding the current bridge and making it smaller. And so the rebuilding of this bridge will allow implementation of a pedestrian sidewalk and a two-way, you got it, cycle track separated from vehicular traffic. The total cost for this project, $20 million, and the city received a surface transportation grant to move this project forward. And the third project, the South Broadway multimodal improvements from River City Casino Boulevard to Dover Street. And this project involves the construction of a 2.1 mile, two-way protected, yep, you got it, cycle track along South Broadway from River City Casino Boulevard to Dover Street. 10-foot wide, you're getting the pattern here. The 10-foot wide cycle track will directly connect to Great River Greenway's River to Pearl multi-use trail on the south. Specific project components include pavement markings, signage, separation from parked and moving vehicles, and curb ramps at intersections. They'll be reconstructed, and there'll also be some bus stop improvements. The total cost for this project, you're looking at $1.2 million. The city received a congestion mitigation and air quality program grant to move this project forward. So these projects were discussed during this week's Housing, Urban Development, and Zoning Committee meeting. And the legislation related to these projects, all of them, they pass out of the committee with a do pass recommendation and will be headed to the full Board of Aldermen for final approval. So my takeaway from these projects is this, y'all. When people want things done, they will find the coin and the resources to make sure it happens. The second thing you need to know, be on the lookout for more cranes in the sky, y'all. And I am not talking about Sister Solange's song. I'm talking about a lot of, again, development, a lot of things shaking, a lot of things changing and improving in the city of St. Louis. So there was quite a bit of legislation discussed during this week's Streets, Traffic, and Refuse Committee meeting, where folks are proposing to make some changes and improvements on some alleys and some streets to move some of these projects forward. So what are these projects that I'm talking about? So one, the Target that'll be built near SLU. Also, apparently the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, they got something popping, something in the works. So they're proposing to make some improvements on the streets near their building. Also, expansion of the convention center is moving forward. There are also some improvements, plural, coming to Preservation Square. And also, there was proposed improvements to, I think, some alleys that would support the opening of a Simmons Bank at the Urban League headquarters, which is, off of Kings Highway, aka the old Sears building. So that's moving along. So the legislation that was related to all those projects were passed out of the committee with due pass recommendation and will be headed towards the full Board of Aldermen for full approval. And then the third thing you need to know is, yes, the legislative corner. So we had 3 bills that were passed this week by the Board of Aldermen, also 1 resolution that I just wanted y'all to be aware of. So the first bill that was passed approves a change in zoning to support the construction of a mixed-use building, which is related to all that Cortex activity going on, y'all. And so this building, so what's this building? So this building will include 120,000 square feet of office space, about 161 residential units, and 30 of those units will be reserved for workforce housing. And also, people got to park, right? So there'll be a parking garage for at least 500 spaces. The second piece of legislation approved changes zoning to support the Top Golf development near SLU. So we're talking about Shoto and Compton off Grand. And the third bill that was passed approves work done on an alley to support the Tiny Homes Project for unhoused veterans. And this is located on Cass in between Spring and Grand. And then I mentioned the resolution was passed. So resolution number 172 was passed by everybody in the Board of Aldermen, which extends the city's mask mandate for another 20-ish days. So that's all I have for y'all this week. Please stay safe out there. You'll see me soon. Peace.